Okay, doing this a different way on my live event. Uh, just have to see how it goes. Anyway, had one of my tenants. He had a problem with his shower for whatever reason, and I figured it out today. He turned the shower on, and it's one of those where you have your left and right knob for hot and cold water, and a knob in the middle that it turns it from either the faucet in the tub or up to the shower head. And you turn it to shower, and hardly any water would come out of the shower head, but all would be coming out of the faucet. That was kind of like a what the fuck moment going on, or a WTF, pardon my language. I'm trying to keep it clean. Apparently, there's supposed to be a washer of sorts inside there. There's two of them actually. Um, I don't know why they have to have two. It just doesn't make sense, but that's how they chose to do it. And I'm not sure exactly how everything works inside there and everything, but the rubber washer that goes on the end of the stem assembly was still good. So it worked just fine. But there's another one with the stem. When you turn the knob, the stem pulls back to let water flow through one valve, which I guess one side of the valve, which goes up to the shower head, I guess, and the other side is kind of blocked off, and that's supposed to be the side that goes to the faucet. Well, there's supposed to be a washer in there sealing it when it comes back, so that it seals it off, so it'll all go up to the shower head. Okay, that was missing, come to find out, but there were other issues, so I went ahead and just replaced the stem assembly. No big deal. Took me 5 minutes to change it out once I had the correct part. But anyway, there was kind of a WTF moment right there once I got it done, because even with new parts in there, you turn it over to shower, and 95% of the water pressure goes out through the shower head now. But you still have a pencil thick trickle of water coming out of the faucet. Don't make sense, but that's what it wants to do, and I can't stop it. Hopefully, once it's had a chance to settle in and be used a little bit, it won't do that anymore. The other WTF moment I had today, I had two of them. I come home for lunch. I was going to go ahead and go take out a window and finish reframing it for the correct window. But I come home for lunch. I go to sit down, and all of a sudden, my right shoulder, right up in here, just below the joint, started hurting like holy hell, front and back. And after a minute, it kind of faded. But if I moved my arm, it was horrible pain. I mean, I've never felt pain like that. Not even when I had my back surgery and they put 4 screws in a steel plate in my back in January of 2015. So that says it was some bad pain. No signs of a heart attack or anything like that. I don't know what it was. And it's still sore, but not like it was. I know what people are going to think. They're going to think, oh, this is a heart attack or whatever. Okay? It wasn't. I've had my own heart issues, thankfully minor, and diet and lifestyle has alleviated the problem for the most part. Uh, I'll do things like sneeze real hard. and I'll feel heart palpitations and a pain run down my left shoulder all the way down my arm. And it'll last for 5 or 10 seconds. And that's a sort of heart attack, but that's not it's not as bad as what Paul Short went through. Nowhere near. I mean, this is just a drop on the water of what he went through. What that is the sneeze was causing one of my arteries in my heart to contract, spasm, and it was blocking off some of my blood flow. But it would only do it for a couple of seconds. But that was what was causing the pain, is when it would spasm. Okay, had a very high salt intake, had very high blood pressure. I had actually had it where my heart was racing, having heart palpitations, had a lot going on, and when they checked my blood pressure, it was 180 something over 120 something. It was low 180s over like 125, and that's stroke territory. But the doctor, they had me sit back and relax and just chill for a few minutes. And he said, yeah, you're feeling uncomfortable, but your heart seems to be doing okay right this second. Let's get you calmed down, get another blood pressure test, and we'll go from there. So we waited about 2 minutes. My blood pressure went down some. Okay. He did an EKG and an EEG. I mean, he did the works. And he did, like, I think it's a 16-point lead or something like that, the big one. And it did detect heart palpitations. Okay, don't know what was causing it exactly, but he put me on blood pressure medication and water meds, and even had me on blood thinners for a while to help. He did a couple of EKGs after that, and everything turned out okay. So it was determined that I was just having some heart palpitations, and that was causing the chest pain and the discomfort. And let me tell you, if you haven't had heart palpitations, you don't want to. It feels extremely weird. It's kind of like a giddy feeling almost, but it's totally different at the same time. It's weird to describe it, but because my dad was adopted. My grandfather, he was adopted my dad, he had heart attacks. He had several of them, and finally one of them, it killed him. Kind of sucked. He had a massive coronary, which is basically what Paul Short had. It did kill him. I miss him. Never cried at a funeral until his. I don't know why. But I do miss him a lot. I know some of you see in the background roll of insulation. It's a little chilly out. It's mid-60s at the most, but that wind is horrible. And I've actually had it down into the 50s out, and have my little shop heater lit in here, and I can just turn it on high for a few minutes, have a real high flame, and bring it back up to where it's 68, 70 degrees, and it's comfortable. But with this wind right now, I can get it nice and perfect in here, 68, 70 degrees, and turn the heater down to where I normally would, and it's within 10 minutes, it's back down to outside temperature. Normally I don't have that problem with the back here, but right now I seem to be having that problem. I don't have a door dividing the garage area from my shop area. That's one project I have to do. Because of the width of it, I had to have a wider opening. I now have to build a custom door, and that's going to be a fun one. But I got some insulation. I'm going to insulate these outside walls. I have to frame in for my window air conditioner. That's going to be a fun one. No big deal to me. I've done it before. But because of the way my chest is doing, or my right arm, should I say, on my chest, because of the way my right shoulder was doing, I was going to go to those windows and just going and getting some of the stuff I needed and getting the car for that faucet and everything. By the time I got back, it's already after 12. It's closer to 1. Okay? So it was like, I'm not going to get to do that today. I was going to go up to this guy's apartment. I probably will now that my shoulder's starting to feel better, and put up his ceiling fan. He's on the second floor, and if any of you have ever lived in a second floor apartment, it gets downright hot. And even though he keeps his windows open and all that, it just doesn't do enough. So what I have done, let me turn this heater down a little bit more. There we go. Anyway, so what I did was the other day, I happened to be in Walmart, and he had been commenting on how he wanted a ceiling fan, but he can't afford it. Well, me and the old lady, we decided, get him a ceiling fan. There's one on sale here. It's like $20. I really can't afford that, but he needed one. But he needs one bad. In the summertime here, we've had, in the shade, 90 degrees. I mean, I remember one year in Oakland, in the Bay Area, in Oakland, you're close. We lived a mile off the bay, literally a mile off the bay, and our temperatures were hitting 95 degrees in the shade. And I was working inland in a valley in Stockton, California, and we're hitting 105 plus in the shade. And I remember one of the first things I did in that apartment that I was working in, and it was in bad shape. Had a lot of work to do. It had the opening for the window air conditioner, but somebody had taken it out. And it was a 220 window air conditioner. And what was originally there. Well, somebody took it out, and all we had was a 110 to put in there. And it was a decent sized 110, but you had to leave it on all night for it just to catch up to where it wasn't just as hot inside as it was outside during the daytime. Oh man. But yeah. Once you had it already cooled down, it would do okay. It would finally it would run literally all night, just try and keep up. It really needed a bigger air conditioner in the apartment. But I was lucky. I didn't have to worry about the bill. They had to, and I told them from the get-go, hey, you need to get a bigger window air conditioner for this unit. This one is not the right size. It'll work temporarily, but you're going to burn it up trying to keep it cold in there. And they just did not want to listen. I don't know whatever happened to it. The lady I was working for that had the building, me and her had issues. She was my landlord and all, and I worked for her, and she decided she wanted to act stupid. And finally, I just said, no, I'm done. And then the old lady she couldn't hardly even walk. And doctor got her one of those power chairs to get around with, and she didn't want to let us put a ramp in of any kind to get into our apartment. Now there's a 6-inch step, and she's like, "Well, you can leave that outside, sitting out here by your door. We got a fence around the property, so it's safe." No, that don't work because somebody can jump the fence in the back where it's only 5 feet high and get in here, get the chair, and go out the front gate, and it opens freely from the inside. It's not secured, no. But then we're on housing, and he anyway, she was being stupid about it. She started trying to go up on our rent, and our caseworker for our housing told her, no, if you want to go up, you're going to have to go ahead and put in a proper ramp or allow them to put one in. We'll work with you on it. There's services out there, they'll do it for free. And the owner's like, well, no, never mind. I'm not going to go ahead and renew the lease with him staying there because he did this, he did that, and I didn't give permission to do any of it. And forgetting I had proof in the form of text and emails. Even her own son witnessed it, and he's like, no, you gave him permission to do that. Don't lie like that. You know? So, with her, it was all money motivated. She wanted to keep it as normal as can be. Well, because our housing agency holds the master lease for that apartment, when we moved out, they just moved somebody else in. And this guy wound up needing a regular wheelchair ramp. And once again, she's like, well, I don't want a ramp in front of my doors. Well, you have to by law. If somebody is disabled, you have to allow them to have a ramp in their going up to their front door. That's the way it works legally, and you cannot refuse to renew the lease. We've got proof now that you're trying to resist it, and if you try to refuse the lease now, you'll get in trouble. So now she had no choice. She can't deny the lease renewal. And it's stuck there. The ramp was a different one because they forced her to allow it. It's nicer than what we threw up. Ours, it was made so we could grab it in an instant and just take it up and move it. But that one there, it's more designed to be permanent. Ours is just like little steps coming up. And they were only like an inch difference each one. And there was like 12 or 15 of them. I mean, it was pieces of 1x free wood I'd gotten, so I didn't complain. But the new one, it's a lot better. But she's gotten out of control. She's trying to get $2,500 for a 2-bedroom apartment that's only a hair bigger than our 1-bedroom here that we're paying $1,000 for. So basically, they're paying an extra $1,500 for an extra 20 square foot, roughly. No, that's stupidity. And I can't see it. But I let her be. I haven't talked to her since. And I work for her son quite a bit. And I was working for him one day, and she decided to show up. And I turned around, I walked out. And he's like, where are you going? I said, I'm not going to be here when your mom is here. You know how I feel about her. And after she left and everything went back in there, he's like, you hate her that much? I told him, I says, dude, if she had just looked at me cross-eyed, I was likely to hit her. And I don't like hitting women. I don't think that's right at all, no matter what. When I was younger, I still didn't believe in it, but my convictions weren't as strong as they are now. Now, I feel totally different than I did when I was in my early 20s, even as a kid. I was raised to respect women. Okay? Yes, some people feel women should just respect their man no matter what. I kind kind of agree with that, but I also disagree. But, you know, it's a mutual relationship. Okay? Some people say, oh, well, a woman hit him, he should be able to hit her back. No. Why are you going to stoop yourself to a lesser person by hitting them back when they're a woman? And it goes on a bunch of stuff. Okay? People say, well, you know, she can't hit you. She can hit you. Or, no, I've seen it where cops say, well, she can't hit you. She can't hurt you. She ain't going to hurt you. Look how small she is. Yeah, but there's still assault. A woman hits a man, it's the same as if the man hit the woman. It's assault. But some cops don't like that idea. Some DAs don't like that idea, especially if they're women. Okay? They say that a woman can't rape a man. Yes, they can. They can force a man to have sex with them. It's bullshit. Women can do the exact same stuff as a man like that. And it's stupidity. Yeah. I guess today's WTF moment is over. More stuff to do. Go in. What time is it? Holy cow. It's almost 6 o'clock. Jeez. Where has the day gone? Yeah. America has changed big time. For the better or for the worse, it's changed. And what can you do? Just live with it and let it be. I applaud Trump for wanting to change America. Go Trump. I know some people don't like him. Okay? And some people love him. Me, 50-50. Okay? I love him because he wants to make America great again. He wants to make America what it should be. What it used to be. Yeah, there's things there that weren't so great back then, but he wants to make America good, period. The stuff that was so bad before, like the slavery, no, he don't want that. That's not what he's looking for. That's bullshit, and he knows it. Okay? He's trying to create equality and fairness. Okay? He wants to do a lot of good stuff. He's done some bad stuff. Okay? So he talked bad about a woman. Okay. That's not good. That's a bad thing to do, whether you're running for president or not. Okay? That's how it goes. You can't always win. Clinton, she did some bad things. Okay? And some of them were a lot worse. She turned around and defended a guy that raped some girl. A kid, I think it was. That, when I found out about that turned me off on her totally. Before I found out about that, oh yeah, I would have had Clinton. I didn't like it, but I would have accepted it. I'd have been like, okay, whatever. Would I have protested like these idiots out here that do all these protests? No, that's going overboard. That's way overboard. But I would let it be known I didn't agree. Yeah, it's just how it goes. Trump, it's a 50-50. You win, you lose. Either way. So, that's how it is. There was something else I was going to say. It's been a heck of a day. I woke up and I don't know if my alarm didn't go off or it went off and I, in my sleep, shut it off or what. I woke up, it was after 9. Yeah. My throat is a bit itchy and it's irritating the heck out of me. I do want to be able to do better recordings. I would actually like to be able to do, like, take my laptop with me. I have a nice cheap little laptop. Actually, it's not so cheap, but it has its issues. The headphone slash microphone jack on it is totally foobar. Because of that, the built-in camera won't work. I could take my, I could probably get away with that. Take my camera that I got for my computer here for the desktop, take it with a USB extension, and set that up on a tripod or something. I might do that and do some recording. If somebody over there has Comcast for their internet, I may be able to do it live even. So we'll just have to see. It's just one thing after another with these, and I'm not going to get mad about this stuff. I would realistically like to have a couple more cameras that I could set up and do multi-angles where I'm doing stuff like, working in here or something, working on something. I can change camera angle automatically to whatever I'm doing by simply hitting a button on my keyboard or whatever, and I can configure those hotkeys through the software I use for my live broadcast. No big deal. Let's see if I've had any viewers or not. Okay, yeah, I do have one viewer, it says. No messages. So, if whoever is viewing this would like to, leave a message, put a message on here, say hi, say something, I can say hi back to you in real time. Yeah. Says, I'm looking at my settings now, or what it's saying on my channel. It says live stream health is bad. It says it's bad because of bad video settings. I have a keyframe rate of 15.5 seconds, and they're saying it should be at 4 seconds or less. So, go figure. Let's see, stream health. Oh, doggone it. Didn't want to do that. Well, that wasn't so good. Did I just close my broadcast? I think I did. Oops. Go back to live stream. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not sure what happened here. Did it stop or did it keep going? That's weird. Yeah. Sorry about that. I guess this didn't stop recording. Somehow or other I clicked on something, I'm not sure. I show somebody's watching. Now I show 0 watching. Oh, dang it. I lost my only viewer. Oh well, yeah, what a day. Uh, I'm gonna learn how to use this software better over time. Uh, Now I do have a interesting piece of software I recently downloaded. It's Smart Draw 2017, and it's a uh, it's a blueprint app, and I've used it a couple times now. When I was getting my measurements together for my last section of raised floor, I had the software. Then it's just the trial version. Welcome back to whoever is watching my channel. Um, yeah. Anyway, I used that and it helped me out a lot because it's easier to do that and then just print out the information and tack that to the board piece of plywood I used on my sawhorses so I could cut my wood. Made it a lot easier, and I just cut all the wood at once as far as 2x, built the frame, moved that out of the way, everything out of the way, and then put my plywood up there and cut it. And then brought the frame in here and set it in place, got it anchored in and everything, and then put the plywood on and painted it. Made it a lot easier. Makes it a lot easier to figure out your materials, because now you know what needs to go where roughly, and it does help a lot. But a lot of people don't understand that. I know I've got me a viewer watching, or I did a second ago. My viewer came back. If it was the same viewer. Oh, now I got two. Cool. Good to have you all watching. Thank you for coming in. Usually I do this in the evening, later in the evening, but I need to start doing it a little bit earlier because, you know, I'm West Coast and I have viewers on the East Coast. And doing it at 9 o'clock, everybody goes to bed by 10 and 11 o'clock usually, especially if it's a weekday or a weeknight. But it's just I'm tired. It's been a long day already. I didn't do nothing. I still got to transfer a lot of stuff over in my toolboxes. I'll probably do that this weekend. Next week, the old lady is having surgery. She's going to be having that implant thing done. She'll be down for a few days, so I'll be having to stay around the house more so that I can help her if she needs it. That's going to kind of stink. And I have two major bills I've got to pay. And there's the problem, paying the bills. Money is that tight this month. Had a couple of things that I did every month that help pay the bills, and they didn't go through this month. I got to get a hold of my find out what happened to my cash aid. Something happened there, and that's what helps us pay the bills. Even with me working and her disabled, money's still tight. But part of it is we're still getting stuff paid off from Christmas. It never ends. But I'm going to be starting to do more big jobs that'll pay a bit more, so that'll help me get caught up again. Hopefully T-Mobile will let us be for this month and we'll be able to get caught up in time, because I hate being late on bills. It already is late. I was laughing last night watching Pug One. He's or One Pug Life or whatever it is. I think it's One Pug Life. Everybody calls him Pug One though. Anyway, he's a goof. He's funny. He does stupid stuff. You can tell he's forcing his laugh. Things like that. And it's really for him. It's entertainment that he tries to do. But he goes a little overboard. But he's running into a problem now that a couple people have done where they do a lot of cursing on their videos. And because of YouTube and the advertisers and whatnot, because of the language, they're saying, "Oh no, this ain't gonna work. We're gonna make it so that you're no longer public and the public can't see you." So the only way that people can find his videos is by searching for him. And it stinks that he's going through that. That's one reason why I try to watch my language. Every once in a while I'll let a curse word out. I try not to. And it's not just him that's cursing in his videos. He's doing what literally 90% of America does. And it's sad. People don't realize how much they cuss. He did a couple of videos where he spent extra time on there editing and beeping out every curse word. And he had people come over to visit and say hey and everything, and they turn around and every 10 seconds there's a cuss word coming out of their mouth. And it's inspired me, seeing this, how bad it is and everything, to start watching my language, period. Because I used to cuss like you wouldn't believe. And I've slowed down. It wasn't worth it. Yeah, it's been kind of interesting, but I wish I knew who all was watching. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, it's been frustrating. Just about the time I get into YouTube, we have issues with advertising because of some videos. And I don't know what was going on. You know, I wasn't watching that, you know. But it was kind of irritating to see I'm starting to make videos and have a chance to help bring a little money in as well as provide some entertainment, which I haven't done too well of. Excuse me. And, you know, do something. And it would help supplement my income. I don't mind coming down here and spending an hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours editing a video for content when I have time, when I want to make somebody happy. But, you know, it's frustrating when the first 30-something videos I made had maybe, I think I seen one of the previous ones prior to the day I had my surgery and found out about Paul Short's heart attack. Prior to that day, there were almost no views of any of them. One of them got like 20-something views, but that was because of somebody that was enraged by what I had said because they came across the video and they knew I was talking about them. And it made me laugh. On that video, I had to make it so it was private for a little bit because she she just kept coming on there. She wasn't saying a word. She just kept, how would you say it? She just kept viewing it over and over again. She cussed me out over it and everything, and I just laughed. It was like, okay, so I was talking about you. Did I say your name? You know? And she just kept getting on with it. And finally, I told her, you either quieten it down over here, or you're just gonna have to go. You ain't gonna be allowed on the property again. Catch you on the property, I will have you arrested for trespassing. She backed down. She left. She hasn't been back since. But then again, the lady who she was here with has moved, so don't have to worry about that no more. Yeah. Just one of those things. Trying not to sponsor the company whose drink I am drinking. So I try to make sure I have the backside showing if it's going to show at all. Y'all probably already know what it is. It doesn't really matter, but I don't want them saying, oh, well, you're advertising our company and we ain't paying you and we want our money. And so what? You know, I'm drinking Pepsi or whatever, Dr. Pepper, root beer, cream soda, A&W. It doesn't matter. I'm drinking what I feel like drinking. I'm not drinking what America feels like drinking. You know, so when you see me, hold up drinking something, no matter what, or eating a special snack, it's not because I'm getting paid to. I'm doing it because that's what I want. Yeah, I've seen a few things where I wouldn't mind having the company contact me and say, hey, you want to come out, you want to do try out one of our tools and give us your truthful opinion. You can post it on your video. Oh, sure, I'd do that in a heartbeat. Happily. Why? Because I'm always looking for more tools. And if I see a tool that I would like, but I know it's not the best, I want to be able, or don't know what it's about, I don't want to buy it just to see that it's no good. I mean, I use Ryobi tools. I'm not going to hide that. That's my favorite tool. I've had good luck with Ryobi tools. Okay? One tool, one time did I have a problem with, and it was a table saw with stand. And I bought it, set it up. It was one of those bolt together things. The stand didn't even bolt to the table saw correctly. It wasn't even right. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and just clamp it to the stand and make do. And I'll just build my own stand later and make it a better stand. Because the one that they send is just stamped steel. And it's cheap. But anyway, I set it up, set up my fence, put my first piece of wood on there and went to start cutting it, and the stand just crumpled. So what did I do? I had to turn around and set the table saw on the floor and cut plywood at knee height. It was ridiculous. I turned around and I said, screw this. I took it back and just used my skill saw. It was better than nothing. Before I took it back, I contacted Ryobi and complained to them about it, and they did send me a new stand. It was the exact same stand. It did not fit the saw. So that's when I just took it back and got my money back. And here recently I bought a used Ryobi table saw. It does have a bearing that squeals a little bit. I need to take the motor apart and change out the bearing. It's not bad yet. It's not gone out yet. But before it goes bad, I need to change it. I might do a video on that for y'all. Let y'all see what I went through. Who knows? That's how it works some days. You never know what you're going to do from one day to the next. But I use Ryobi tools. Here a while back, I contacted Milwaukee. And I was like, hey, look, I've started a YouTube channel and, I do all sorts of stuff on there. I work on cars or whatever. Just whatever I feel like doing at the time. I do a lot of renovation work, and I I'm trying to take videos of that, and my primary tool is Ryobi product, and I would like to do sample one of your products and do a complete tool review, you know. And Milwaukee never contacted me back. They just blew me off. Makita. I know back in the day they were the big tools, as well as DeWalt and the others. From what I've heard, some people say Makita isn't as good as it used to be. I've heard them say the same thing about Milwaukee and DeWalt. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't use those. For bang for your buck, though, as far as I've been concerned, it's always been Ryobi since I started. I got a jigsaw, okay, and I got it put up in. I pull it out, but it's not in this area. It's in the other building in storage over there because I don't use it too much. But anyway, I've had a lot of jigsaws, and even the best of them I've had, and this will surprise me, out of all the ones I've ever used, and I've had some that were pretty doggone good, but they weren't all that. My dad, he's building a custom countertop bathroom sink for one of his mobile homes that he rents. And we marked out the hole and everything, and he went and got one of these Ryobi cordless jigsaws. And I turn around and I put a battery in there and I go to cut, and it's like, it's actually one of the better, or one of the best jigsaws I've ever used. I don't know what the difference is between the others, but so far it's been the best. It did the best cuts, but I just don't use it that much. That's how it goes. And today I figured out what was going on. It was this morning I figured it out. What was going on with the stereo in my van? Why it wouldn't let me remove the cell phones that were on there connected through Bluetooth already? They wouldn't let me do a reset either. The option was there, but it wouldn't highlight it so I could actually use it. I'd gotten up and was eating my breakfast, and I was rereading the owner's manual on the stereo, and to do the reset, you have to have the parking brake engaged on either one, Bluetooth or full setting reset. Doesn't make sense. Why would I have to have the parking brake engaged? Well, when I hooked up the stereo, I had hooked it up to the parking brake switch. That's part of the parking brake assembly. On the van, that parking brake switch is grounded. On the stereo, it's looking for a positive connection. So because it was looking for a positive connection, it was only receiving a negative. In effect, I wasn't engaging the parking brake. So I slid the stereo out, got the wire for the parking brake, and I had a switch on there for my backup camera on the in the center console. And I went ahead and I was like, okay, let me try this. So I just cut the wire and temporarily wired that in and turned the key on and checked. Now let me erase all the Bluetooth devices. Oh, cool. So I did figure that one out. I wired it in line with that switch, so if I got to do a reset on the Bluetooth, I can just flip the switch on with the backup lights, hit the X on the touch screen, and I'm good to go again. I can go ahead and do that. No big deal. Frustrating. Another frustrating thing is it's a DVD player. But because of they're worried about safety, they made it so you have to have an external monitor. It won't play the video through the front at all. It doesn't matter if you're in park, you got your parking brake on, nothing. And that's not right. So now to watch a DVD, I either have to bring my own DVD player or have an externally mounted monitor. That's a crock of BS. I don't watch a lot of videos, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it's like, why should I have to worry about this? You know, what if I'm on the road on a trip and the old lady wants to watch a DVD? She can't watch it without having that issue. Uh, like I said, I don't have a problem with dealing with stuff like this. Any company comes to me and says, hey, you know, do this, check this out, and let me know what you think. Of course, no problem. I'll run it through the mills. I'll wear it out. I'll plumb wear it out. I mean, my chop saw. It says 14 amp load draw. I wouldn't doubt it. I was cutting some wood the other day. I was cutting a 4x4 pressure treated. And I was cutting that thing as fast as that saw would go. And it didn't even phase it. Yeah, it drug it down, but it cut it. It cut it very quickly. And that's with the stock blade. I got a tile saw. It works okay, but it's like there's something there that isn't quite right. I think what's happening is the motor is spinning so fast that's causing a vibration, a frequency vibration. And the blade, instead of riding smoothly on the tile and letting the diamonds do the work, is just kind of vibrating against it and just slowly chipping it away, as well as cutting. And it shouldn't be doing that. So, welcome to my number 2 viewer. Thank you for coming in and watching for a few minutes. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Tired. Gotta go put that ceiling fan in here in a few minutes. I would record, but I'm going into a tenant's apartment and can't quite do that. What I might do is when I go to run some conduit and wiring for outlets and such, I'll probably go ahead and record that. That way there, you know, at least I've got something of what I'm doing and how I do it. I try to do everything to code. I can't put wiring in the walls like I would love to. So everything has to be surface mount. YouTube seems to be having a hard time with my settings, so I'll probably end this video here in a minute and go take care of this guy's ceiling fan for him. But if anybody has anything they want to put in it or comment on in this video or suggestions, I ask you, please comment. Let me know, because all I want to do is I want to make this a better video or a better stream. See what this says. Comments 0. I do show one comment, but I am not showing it on my video or on my monitor. So let me see here. It has been an hour. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with that. For whatever reason, I guess I'm the only one who's been watching it, so, or something, who knows. What I might do, see if I can do that. what I'm going to do is pull out my phone and pull it up. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm doing a different live stream than usual, and it comes and it goes. Oh, 3 people watching now. Let me turn my volume down, turn my live chat up. Canadian Wookie, how are you? I am good. Nice to have you watching. Like I was saying earlier, been a long day for me dealing with different things. How are you doing today? The stream is very slow. And posting stuff. So I'm using my phone so I can see what's going on. Okay, we'll just leave it like that. Yeah. I got 4 people watching now. Awesome. Welcome to the channel. Awesome. Glad you're doing good. Bring people in, invite people, tell them about my channel, let them know what's going on. I just want to make this channel better. If y'all have any suggestions, please feel free to comment on it. And I will try and improve the channel. I try to keep the music off while I'm doing the videos because copyright restrictions. I'll never understand it. I'm not making anything off the music. I'm just listening to music while I work, and I can't record if I'm listening to music. I actually had one person have their video deleted because one music artist didn't like that their song was playing while they were recording that video. So these people had to go through there and delete the audio, for the most part, of when that song was playing. And YouTube told them they only had like one more chance, and then their video would be deleted, and their account would be deleted because of it. And that's ridiculous. But that's something Garth Brooks did that. He was actually trying to sue pawn shops for selling his DVDs used without giving him some money for it. He wanted his share of a video, their CD they're selling for like $3, and he demanded his cut of it. And his cut was more than they paid for the DVD. So some pawn shops just said, nope, we won't sell his DVDs or his CDs anymore. And that's ridiculous. I mean, that's greed. I love his songs, but I hate his greediness. So, what can you do? You just gotta live with it. And that's what I do every day, live with stupid stuff like that. I am going to be trying to adjust my what they call it, keyframe frequency, whatever the heck that is. If somebody has any ideas of what that is, let me know and I'll change it. Because it just doesn't make sense that they're saying, oh, this is what's wrong. And it's fluctuating. A minute ago it was 15 point something. Now it's 16 point something. So it's something with, and I suspect it's something to do with either the webcam or my internet. Who knows? It's just saying it's a bad video setting, so I think here in a second I am going to go do the ceiling fan and call it a night. Go in, eat some dinner. I did get lucky the other day. We happened to be going to this one grocery store over here by the house, and they had pork ribs on sale. And I'm talking, these racks of ribs were a good 18 plus inches long, a good, I swear they must have been about closer to about 8 to 10 inches wide, and another inch and a half deep or thick. And there were 2 of them, and it was like $20. And I didn't realize there were 2 in the pack, but I knew it was a heavy rack. I thought it was a heavy single rack of ribs. And I went ahead and got those and put them on the smoker pit. Went to put them on the smoker pit, and we opened the package. That's when we discovered that it was 2 racks of ribs. And I smoked each rack for about, I don't know, about an hour and a half, and took the first one off. My smoker pit's not that big, so I couldn't put both on at the same time, unfortunately. Took the one off, put it on a single cookie sheet to go in the oven, and we put the oven on real low. I think she had like 200, and did that for another hour and a half. And she did both of them like that, and it came out very, very good. The smoke, the wood smoke, because I don't use charcoal. I actually use either oak, hickory. I've used apple. I've used cherry. I love the taste of the cherry wood smoke. So, but that's a rarity to get because a lot of stores don't sell the cherry wood. The only reason why I had cherry wood is because I trimmed a cherry tree for somebody. And that was some good wood. I do need to get me a trailer. I don't have the money to buy one. I want to build one. I've got somebody willing to supply me with the money to get one built, and I just pay them back as I can afford it. Okay, that's no big deal. But I also need a better welder. Yeah, I can build it with that flux core wire welder I got. It doesn't use gas. But sometimes I wonder about the quality of the welds, because it just looks horrible. Every once in a while I'll get lucky and get a good weld on it. Thing about those flux core welders is they you don't have to worry about carrying a gas cylinder around, but at the same time the welds tend to look horrible, but they are a lot hotter, so you get better penetration. And if I'm going to build a trailer, I want it to look decent. So I'm looking at doing it like that. I do have the ability, if I clear out this storefront we have open over here, I can actually build it inside except for putting the axle on and the bed on, and then just get somebody to help me get it outside, and then I can put bolt the axle underneath it and all and have it ready to go. That's probably going to be what I do. I'll probably make me some rollers or something to put underneath it when I go to move it. Little casters, those are a dime a dozen, literally. and I've got a few floating around over here, so I'm not too worried about that. Like I said, it just depends on how I feel on doing this. I want to show you guys how I build it and everything. Do have the concern of when I'm welding it causing damage to the camera, to the sensors. I have seen that happen. I think it's prolonged welding also, how close the welder is to what you're welding and how bright it is. What I might do is build what I watched one guy that does a lot of TIG welding and stuff do. He actually built him a housing for a welding lens that would clip over his camera. And with that, he can show what he's welding, what it looks like, and everything, what he's seen. And I might do that for y'all, because that'd be an interesting ordeal. Because I don't have a problem with the welding. I've got to make sure I got all my welding stuff still around. I had some welding sleeves for welding overhead, because I've had some beautiful burns on my arms. I've ruined a few shirts, not paying attention in welding. She must be cold. That was one of my neighbors I was just looking at on camera. I saw her coming down the driveway, and I was like, what the heck? Who is that? What are they wearing? And then I heard her voice, and I realized it was our lady that lives across the driveway from us. And she has a Warriors blanket, and she's wrapped up in it. And she's going down to where her car is parked for some reason. And her daughter, she's like 3. And she's an adorable little sweetheart. And she's very, very friendly. And she's out there, t-shirt and pants, running around. This kid, she's a little rascal. She adorable as can be, like I said, but she's very, very demanding. She isn't getting her way. She's screaming and shouting. You know how little kids 2 or 3 years old do. But it is funny when you hear it. When you hear her in there screaming because she wants something and she's not getting it. But what can you do? But anyway, yeah. I'm going to play around with some of this camera stuff I've got and see what I can do about maybe getting another camera set up and running so I can start doing some more recording. Because I have several cameras, like I was saying, but no way of charging the batteries. And it's like, you want to be careful when you're charging it if you're trying to jerry-rig a charger, because you can actually cause that battery to explode. And that's not good. So, but I'm resourceful if nothing else. So, once I figure out what I'm going to do on how I'm going to get all that set up, I'll probably bring y'all in and just do a live video while I do it and just try and set up some kind of cameras so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. I have that digital camera, and it records for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then it says, okay, I'm done, and stops recording. And then once it stops recording, it stays on for about 2 minutes, and then it shuts off. But because of the way it's set up, you can't charge it. I don't have it in here. I gotta go get it out of the house. I haven't seen a port on there where I can charge it while I'm using it, or a power supply like that. But I'll eventually get figured out. I bought 2 batteries for it, or 1 battery for it. It came with one and a charger. But I mean, I might get 20 or 30 minutes of recording time out of it, and then it's dead. And that's ridiculous. I need something with a bigger battery pack. And unfortunately, that doesn't give me that option. And every camera I've ever used, as far as video cameras go, when you hook up the output on it to a monitor of some kind, it doesn't show the stuff that goes to the built-in monitor on the camera. It just sends the actual video, what you would see when you viewed the video on something else, on through. This thing here, it sends the says recording and what the time frame is on it and all this stuff, and it's like, why? It's not supposed to do that. But that's what they do. So I've got to figure out these cameras and see if I can't get something going that's better. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call this video to an end. It's been over an hour, and for me an hour is about normal, so yeah. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, or a week, should I say, not weekend. I'm going to pull that over. Trying to adjust a few things so I can see what's going on. Yeah. I am so ready to call it a day. Go in there and take me a nice long hot bath, but can't do that for a little bit longer yet. That is one thing I do for my back, and it helps. Waiting on the approval from my insurance right now to be scheduled for my full procedure on my back to completely do what helped me during my trial period. That was a big deal. It helped me big time. I am so glad that it did, but at the same time, I hated the discomfort I went through there the last couple of days. Got a fourth person watching, it says. Welcome to the fourth viewer. Unfortunately, you're a little late. I'm about to end the video. I will try and post a notification about an hour before I start doing a live feed. Give you all a chance to get on, and we'll just take it from there. Y'all have a good week. Try and stay safe. If any of you are over there near Paul and Kathy Short, tell them I said hello. What in the heck? Okay, my video turned green for a minute. Or my stream did. That was funny. Like I said, if you see them and you're near them, tell them I said hello. Like I said, I do love them. They're like family. I'm glad Paul is doing better, and hopefully he's able to take care of himself better as far as stress in his life and how much he works. I look forward to seeing them back on camera soon. I think they said he has to wait like 5 weeks or something like that before he can do any kind of anything even remotely strenuous. I do agree with that. Thank you, Canadian Wookie. It's funny. Any comments that are posted shows up on my phone first, and then it shows up on the live stream monitor on my computer. I think I need to bring my laptop back down here and use that to monitor what's going on, but irregardless, y'all have a good week, and hopefully I'll get to see y'all tomorrow. Just check in when you get a chance and see if I'm on. Catch you later.